My name is Mario Garcia, and I'm very happy to be here. So today I want to talk to you about doing good and doing well. What does that mean? Well, what we have found is that a lot of entrepreneurs here in Korea and around the world, they are not just interested in making money and having a job anymore. They really want to be able to make a good career that is rewarding for themselves personally from an emotional point of view. Financially, they want to make sure they have enough money to buy a house, buy a car, get married, if for those of you who have those plans and have kids. And they want to be doing that while they are doing a job that they feel proud of. So this is something that's very common that we have found across universities. We found this across companies, and we even see it a lot with working professionals. They want to do something that they feel proud of, that contributes positively to the world, and it rewards them to that. So I want to talk to you today about how do we actually do that? Why do we have a problem where that's not the case, and what are the steps to solve that problem? This first image is from a conference in Boston. It is called Hub Week. And a small note here is that I also met Jose at this conference. This is the first time that we met. He was one of the speakers here. And this slide is of another speaker. His name is Jeff Busgang. He's a venture capitalist at one of the top VC firms in the United States. And he is also a professor at Harvard Business School. And so what he was telling us is that, in the economy, we have a problem. There are a lot of big problems that need to be solved, but somehow the people working on these problems are people that you really wouldn't trust. You wouldn't trust them to sell you even a box of tissues. At the same time, we have some of the smartest people graduating from our universities going to work for large companies with a lot of resources, and then they are focusing all of their time and energy figuring out, how do we sell you a box of tissues? Another way to phrase this, I think, here in Korea, what he's talking about is basically helchosun. We have really smart people that are getting put to work to things that don't have an impact. And my point here is that this idea of helchosun that a lot of people feel, it's not unique to Korea. It's happening everywhere in the world. It's happening in some of the top economies in the United States. And the question is, what is our way out of this? How can we have a better economy where we use all of our talent and all of our skills to work on important problems and get rewarded for it? So what he proposes is that the lean startup, startups in general, it's a very simple paradigm. It's a very simple way to solve this problem. You identify a big problem, you gather the right people around you to solve that problem, create ideas, brainstorm solutions, and bring a minimum viable product and expose it into the market. And that's it. Startups are a way around this. They solve big problems in the economy. So bringing this team together is really important. We need to have the right type of teams with the right type of experience that are getting put to work on these problems. And the way that we do that is by organizing teams with the right type of roles, responsibilities, and rewards. So when you're putting this team together, in order to identify clearly those roles and responsibilities and rewards, we need to have an emphasis on your customers. If there's one thing I want you to remember from the lecture that I have today, it's this slide. The whole purpose of a company to exist is that you have to deliver quality goods and services at reasonable prices. And how do we define these quality goods and services? By focusing on profits, people, and the planet. If you don't make a profit, maybe most of you don't want to think about profits first, but if you don't make a profit, your organization will not be able to function. So you have to think about, how do I create a profitable business model that solves a problem for real people who are willing to pay for that solution in a way that benefits the planet. So it's not enough anymore to approach your customers with just shiny marketing, selling tissues or selling them bottled water and showing a very shiny advertisement. Now customers are impact on them, that the product actually works, and you're having a positive impact on communities. So take a look at bottled water, for example. Is it convenient? Definitely. Can we make shiny marketing around it? Absolutely. Is it profitable? Yes, it's very profitable. Does it have a positive impact? Well, maybe not so much. It creates a lot of plastic waste. It is very heavy to transport, so it produces unnecessary carbon emissions. And for the customers, it's actually much more expensive than delivering water straight from the tap, straight from the sink, through a water filter, through a municipal water supply. So bottled water is an industry that really needs to change. And the question is, how can we transform the water market so that it's convenient, so that it's profitable, and so that it actually has a positive impact? Here's an example of a company that we met at Hub Week, that same conference in 2018. Another speaker was the founder of this company. The name of the company is Charity Water. The company itself is actually a nonprofit. Nevertheless, in this company, what they do is that they decided from the very beginning, we are going to get the most talented people that we can find from industry. And we are going to make sure that even though we're a nonprofit, we're a charity, that they get paid salaries that are equal to their private market industry salaries, so that we can have amazing teams putting together solutions where we deliver not bottled water with shiny marketing, but water infrastructure to communities everywhere in the world. They built a business model around this. Even though they are a nonprofit, they have a functioning business model where they make sure that they have the operations that allow them to operate, and they hire teams locally. They hire people, they train them, and they are creating an economy from the ground up where you don't just deliver bottles of water on a truck that is putting out carbon emissions. You deliver infrastructure that local communities build. You train people with engineering, you train people and teach them all of these skills related to running their infrastructure, and at the same time, you deliver clean drinking water. Here's another example of a company doing something similar. Company M, this is a company from Hanyang University. They are supported by the center. I met them in the building that's right next door to here. And again, what they did is they thought about the same problem, but from the point of view of cosmetics. Cosmetics have been based on doing shiny marketing to get people to buy. A phrase that I previously heard is that cosmetics advertising, traditionally has been the skill. Take away your confidence, take away your feelings of self-worth, and offer it back to you for the price of the product in the advertisement. And so this company said, we want to change that. We don't want to just promise you that you could look better and feel better just because you're buying our product. We want to make sure that from the very beginning, our products, in terms of their packaging, in terms of their materials, are sustainable, that they are recyclable, and that they are not harmful to humans and the environment. So they developed a vegan product line, and the way that they deliver this product is through online sales, and they focused on creating natural cosmetics that don't cause cruelty to animals. So they don't do animal testing. They minimize and remove toxic materials, both in production as well as within the product. And as you can see here, they heavily promote a much more healthier lifestyle. So they are not telling you, you are ugly, and if you buy my product, you could be pretty. What they are telling you is, you want to be healthy. And with these products and with the activities and the type of lifestyle that we promote, you can have a much more healthy lifestyle. In fact, If you follow them on social media, you don't even need to buy the product. You can just follow a lot of the tips and the advice that they give to you to help you understand how do you live a better life that is healthier, that has less cruelty towards animals, and where you are removing toxic products and toxic materials from your purchases. So a very strong framework and a fundamental framework that you can use to kind of consider what are the ways that my company can have an impact are the Sustainable Development Goals. If you look at, some of you might be familiar with these, and if you look at the last two examples that I shared with you, one is a nonprofit, the second company is a for-profit company. What is Charity Water doing? Definitely delivering clean water and sanitation, goal number 6 that you see in the top right corner. What is Melixer doing? Goal number 3, delivering good health and well-being, which is goal number 3 right in the top of the grid. But they also have secondary goals. Charity Water and Melixer, the company that I shared with you, they are also focusing on goals number 8 and goals number 9. Charity Water provides decent work and economic growth by building infrastructure for water and building the engineering skills in the local communities. And with cosmetics, by focusing on a more humane and a more efficient and less toxic supply chain, they are improving industry innovation and infrastructure, goal number 9, as well as goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. So when you are thinking about how you want to have an impact, whether it's in the nonprofit or the for-profit sector, you can use these goals as a framework to guide your ideas. What are the big problems that are worth solving? And now how can we find a product or a service that can help to meet these goals in society that I can sell for a profit so that my company, my organization can function in the long term. In all of these cases, you're going to have to worry about investment. And while that United Nations framework is great for thinking about the large scale goals, the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board is an invaluable tool that will help you to figure out, how do I take those large big picture goals and how do I think about those goals in very practical metrics that I can measure? And this is what in the investment has come to be known as ESG, environmental, social, and governance investment. In the past, people thought that ESG investment and regular investment are two completely different things. That's not true anymore. All of these companies that you see here, the Harvard Management Company that manages the university's $20 billion endowment, Goldman Sachs, which is the top investment bank in the world probably, their asset management division, not their impact investment division, their asset management division, Putnam Investments, Morgan Stanley, PIMCO, one of the biggest investment firms in bonds and long-term investments. All of these companies have now started to sign on to the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, and they are integrating these standards into their core investment strategies. This matters for you because what these large organizations do is that they are the ones that are leading the way, and all other funds, whether it's pension funds, whether it's venture capital, a lot of the investment community around the world follows the lead of these large firms. And as they are moving these ESG metrics into their core investments, you are really going to start to see everybody else in the world in many other funds follow. And these investments, what they have found, the key phrase here is financial materiality. They have to be financial material. And this takes us back to the whole point of this conversation, which is that you can do good and you can do well. What the SASB has done is identify the clear reporting standards for ESG goals that make you money. If you hit these goals and you integrate them into your core strategy, they have found companies that do this make more profits in the long run. If I'm an investor, I want to make more money. If I'm an entrepreneur, I want to make more money. Sure, I have a large social goal, but this is not about self-sacrifice. This is about being active in the economy, solving real problems. A quick example, Goldman Sachs, company-wide, they made a commitment. Going forward, they will not do IPOs for any company if they don't have at least one diverse board member, meaning either an ethnic minority or a woman. Either you have women on your board or you have ethnic minorities on your board, or we will not do any more IPOs. It doesn't matter how nice your opportunity sounds. So this is having a huge impact that goes all the way to the foundation of a company. You got to start thinking about these things. And now for Korea. In the survey, about 50%, the survey that we did at the beginning of this talk, about 50% of you said that you don't think Korea is a good country to make a startup, and 50% said that it is. Well, my sincere opinion is that Korea is a great place today to start a company. Because of this COVID-19, as Jose mentioned, we now have a huge positive image of what Korea is and what Korean technology can do and how Korean society can move to solve these big problems. We have a very positive image, and you're going to find that people are going to be very friendly towards Korean companies, towards Korean startups. And solving this issue of COVID-19 is very closely related to many environmental issues, deforestation, food supply, energy production. All of these things amplify the negative effects of the disease. And Korea very recently announced this Green New Deal. And what I really want to tell you today is that this opportunity comes every 100 years. Every 100 years, the world's economy gets reorganized and reformatted. And right now, standing here in Korea, working with technology companies, I'm going to tell you we have the opportunity of a lifetime to really think, how can we take the good things that we do here in Korea and share that with the world? And I'm going to tell you it's very simple to do. What's next? Jose showed you some of the tools. Make a website, get on social media. Start talking about these big problems. Start having conversations with people about these big problems, and start working towards solutions that you can introduce into the market at a reasonable price. So what's next? If you are a student or a startup here at Hanyang, visit the Startup Support Foundation, and you can sign up. I'm a mentor here, so you can sign up for one-on-one mentoring with me if you've got an idea about how you want to build a company around this. If you are visiting us from outside of Hanyang University, you can go to our website, lighthouse.ac, and you can see there what are the range of the activities that we do. If you'd like to work with us, get in touch with us. This Thursday, every Thursday at 8 a.m. Korea time, we have a live webcast, and we'd be really happy to continue the conversation with you there, as well as on our website and on our LinkedIn page. Okay, so we're going to take some questions from you later on when we get into the panel. We've seen a little bit of discussion here in the chat, and thank you so much for having me here today, and I'll see you again in 1 minute. Thank you.